Spiritism to me is actually a philosophy of life. It is, it gives me the direction, it gives me the understanding. How can I or should I be to become a better person? So it helps me in my relationship with the world, in my relationship with my my loved ones, the colleagues from work, and it helps me to understand the reason why I'm here, incarnated on this planet, and what I came to do here. So Spiritism is basically, it encompasses three aspects. That is the aspect of philosophy, that gives you all these ideas, all this understanding about the perennial questions of life. It gives you the aspect of science, explaining and how the interaction between two worlds can happen. And it gives you the aspect of religion or moral, that is actually your ethical behavior in relation to the world. As the basis, just to give you a basis, Spiritism is actually something that came out, modern spiritualism, that was appeared here in this country, in the United States, in the the 19th century. And it traveled the world, and it reached France. And when it reached France, this possibility of communicating with spirits, what happened is that Professor Revile at the time was invited to witness one of these what they called at the time the seances, where spirits were going to communicate, but they thought it was the table that was communicating and moving. And he said, well, tables do not have a brain and cannot communicate. There must be something behind that. And with all that, with all researches, actually it came out this body, the set of knowledge that gives us Spiritism and the ideas of Spiritism. It is not intended to replace any other religion, any of the traditional religions that we have, but it just adds to the understanding that we may achieve and may have and gather in this lifetime. My grandfather, although I didn't meet him, he died when my mother was 15 years old. He was a Spiritist, and my mother used to talk a lot about this grandfather Antonio, and how much he actually liked and enjoyed going to the Spiritist groups. And when I was about 11 years old, it was when my mother, I don't know exactly for what reason, she decided to go to the Spiritist Center, and she took me with her. So I was 11 years old, and I remember quite well, and I was so impressed. I loved it, what I saw there, what I heard there. And I remember that, she was supposed to go 2 or 3 times a week. That was, what they told her that she had to do. And I was the one pushing her to go and to take me with her. So that was how I got in touch with Spiritism. I think in a way I'm very blessed, because it was exactly when I was close to my teen years, and when I already had the ability of understanding more. I think somehow it was already the answers that I wanted and that I was expecting. I remember myself at this early age thinking, God cannot be this bearded man sitting on a throne, and I couldn't understand or accept the idea of me dying, that's it. It was really odd. And so when I got in contact with Spiritism, even at this early age, it came to fulfill already some of the questions and the quest, I think, that my soul had. It makes things more rational in a way. I remember, for instance, I think this is one of the first talks that I heard in the Spiritist Center. So I was still very young, but that was this talk that when someone beats in you one cheek, you give the other cheek. And I mean, how can you understand that? How can someone that was just hit in one side of your face say, you know, come and hit me on the other side? So I thought that it was so hard to understand. But then I remember that this man that was giving this talk, he was saying, you know, this is we have to understand the meaning of that, and not necessarily, you know, go word by word. And the meaning is, if someone is giving you aggression and the negative things, you give the other side meaning exactly the opposite of what people are giving to you. And I remember that when he said that, it made so much sense, as opposed to, come on, Jesus is asking me to be beating on the other side of my, you know, the other cheek as well. And so all of that we learn from Spiritism is start analyzing the teachings of Jesus, the depth of, you know, this teachings according to the Spiritist view. It's so logical. We do need God, we do need religiosity within ourselves, because life is too hard and we cannot go through life. I mean, that's my personal point of view. We cannot go through life without understanding that there is something greater than we are, and that for everything that we are going through in this earth, there is a reason, and this reason is always to benefit me, to make me get closer and closer to this happiness and peace of mind that I long for so much.